Sarah and Michael had been happily married for 5 years. They were raising Emma, Sarah's 4-year-old daughter, together. Michael loved Emma as his own, and she called him Dad. Their bond was strong, and Sarah was grateful for Michael's love for both her and her daughter from a brief relationship before they became a couple. Sarah had always been open with Michael about Emma's biological father, and he fully embraced his role as her stepfather. Everything changed when Michael's mother, Linda, came to visit. Linda's husband, James, had passed away years ago, and she was now married to Henry, her second husband. Linda, always observant, noticed striking similarities between Emma and Henry, from their eyes to their smiles. This sparked a suspicion. Could Emma be Henry's daughter? Linda recalled that 5 years ago, when Sarah first moved to town, she worked at Henry's store, and they often chatted closely. Though she had no proof, Linda couldn't shake the thought that Sarah and Henry might have had a secret relationship. Linda's suspicions grew. She began making comments like, "Emma has Henry's eyes," or "Her smile reminds me so much of my husband." Sarah was shocked and upset by these remarks. She insisted Emma was the daughter of a man from her past relationship, and her interactions with Henry were strictly professional. But Linda persisted, suggesting a DNA test to clear things up. She said, "If there's nothing to hide, the test will prove it, and I'll feel at ease." Michael, though trusting Sarah, felt pressure from his mother. He knew he wasn't Emma's biological father, but Linda's doubts about Henry confused him, and he wanted to resolve the tension in the family. Reluctantly, Sarah agreed to a DNA test to defend her honor and keep the peace. They decided to test Henry's DNA to check for any relation to Emma, hoping to put Linda's suspicions to rest. After weeks of waiting, the results came back. The test confirmed Michael was not Emma's biological father, which Sarah and Michael already knew. More importantly, it showed Henry was not Emma's father either, completely debunking Linda's suspicions. Sarah and Michael felt relieved, but also hurt by the unnecessary strain Linda had caused. Sarah felt insulted by the accusations of an improper relationship with Henry, while Michael was disappointed in his mother for creating tension over vague resemblances. After the results, Linda admitted she was wrong to doubt Sarah and Henry. She explained she was only worried because Emma's resemblance to Henry made her question the honesty in her own marriage. She apologized, but Sarah struggled to forgive, feeling hurt by the accusations and the strain they put on Michael and their family. Michael and Sarah decided to take time to heal. They agreed to set clearer boundaries with Linda to prevent similar misunderstandings in the future. Michael's bond with Emma remained unchanged, but they both realized that even well-meaning doubts from family could cause deep wounds. The truth matters, but how we handle doubts in a family must be done with care and respect. Unfounded suspicions, especially about sensitive relationships, can deeply hurt those we love. Open communication, trust, and respect are the foundation of keeping a family strong. Emily and David had been married for 10 years, living in a peaceful suburb in Ohio, USA. Emily was a high school literature teacher, while David worked at a local auto repair shop. They had 2 children, Ethan, 8 years old, and Sophie, 5 years old. Their life was filled with joy. David often made wooden toys for the kids, while Emily cared for the family with all her love. Neighbors often praised them, saying their family was a model of happiness. Everything changed on a chilly fall day when Emily received a letter from her old friend Anna, who lived in New York. Anna and Emily had been best friends in college at Ohio State, but they lost touch after Emily married David. In the letter, Anna wrote that she had recently met Brian, Emily's ex-boyfriend from before she met David. Anna mentioned that Brian still talked about Emily and kept some love letters she had written to him. Anna warned Emily to be careful, as Brian seemed to still have feelings for her. Emily felt uneasy and decided to hide the letter, fearing David might misunderstand. A few days later, David accidentally found the letter while looking for Sophie's toy in Emily's drawer. He wasn't snooping, but the unfamiliar envelope from New York caught his attention. David read it and was stunned to see Brian's name, a name Emily had never mentioned. Anna's words suggesting Brian still had feelings for Emily made David feel insecure. He began to wonder if Emily was still in contact with Brian and why she hid the letter. David grew distant, his suspicion making him irritable. Unable to bear the tension, Emily confronted David one evening after the kids were asleep. She asked, "David, what's going on? You're not yourself anymore." David, after a moment of silence, pulled out the letter and placed it on the table. He said, with a disappointed tone, "Explain this, Emily. Who's Brian? Why did you hide this from me?" Emily was shocked to see the letter and explained that Brian was just an old college boyfriend she hadn't spoken to in years. She admitted she hid the letter to avoid worrying David, but it had backfired. David listened, but still had doubts. He said, "If you have nothing to hide, why don't we call Anna to clear this up? I want the truth." Emily agreed, and that night she FaceTimed Anna. Anna confirmed that Brian had only mentioned Emily in passing and had no intention of reconnecting. She apologized for writing the letter in a way that caused misunderstanding. David felt relieved, but realized his suspicion had hurt Emily. David apologized for not trusting Emily, and Emily apologized for hiding the letter. They realized that open communication could have prevented this misunderstanding. They decided to take time to heal, with David being more open about his feelings, and Emily learning not to hide things from her husband, even small ones. Ethan and Sophie felt the warmth return to their family. David even made a small wooden box for Emily to store keepsakes, a symbol of facing the past together without fear. Even small doubts can crack a relationship if not addressed in time. Instead of letting suspicion fester, we should communicate openly and honestly. Hiding things, even with good intentions, can lead to unnecessary misunderstandings. In a family, trust and understanding are key to overcoming challenges. Jessica and Ryan were twins, growing up in a middle-class neighborhood in Chicago, Illinois. Their parents, William and Linda, were hard-working. William a truck driver, Linda a bank employee. They taught their children the value of unity and love. Jessica and Ryan were inseparable, often playing together at Lincoln Park near their home. They shared all their secrets, from childhood dreams to early heartaches. Everything changed when Jessica received a text from her old classmate, Sarah. Sarah said she heard a rumor that Ryan was dating a woman named Amy, who reportedly had a bad reputation and had deceived many people. Sarah was worried for Ryan and messaged Jessica to check on her brother. Jessica was shocked. She knew Ryan was careful and not easily fooled, but the rumor made her uneasy. She called Ryan, but he laughed it off, saying he didn't know any Amy. Jessica laughed with Ryan, but deep down she still had doubts. She asked Sarah for more details, and Sarah sent a blurry photo showing Ryan walking with a woman in Lincoln Park. Though the woman's face wasn't clear, Jessica recognized Ryan's posture. She began to suspect Ryan was hiding something from her, wondering why he would lie when they had always been so close. Unable to bear the suspicion, Jessica decided to meet Ryan at Lincoln Park, their childhood spot. When they met, Jessica couldn't hold back her emotions. She confronted him. "What are you hiding from me? I know you were with a woman named Amy. Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Ryan was surprised by her tone and explained that the woman in the photo wasn't Amy, but a colleague named Claire, working with him on a project. Ryan hugged Jessica and said, "I understand you're worried about me, but you have to trust me. We're siblings. We don't hide things from each other." Jessica felt ashamed for doubting her brother, but explained she was just concerned because of Sarah's rumor. They decided to meet Sarah to clear up the rumor, and Sarah admitted she had only heard the story secondhand, with no real proof. Jessica and Ryan committed to always being honest and trusting each other. They continued to meet regularly at Lincoln Park, where their childhood memories lived on. Their sibling bond grew even stronger, and they realized that family ties are precious and worth protecting. Rumors can create serious misunderstandings if we don't verify the information. Instead of jumping to doubt loved ones, we should confront the issue directly and trust in our relationships. Family bonds are built on honesty and understanding, and only open communication can help us overcome challenges. Grace and Benjamin lived in a small town in Texas, where they ran a family diner famous for its traditional apple pie. They had been married for 15 years and had 3 children: Noah, 12 years old, Ava, 9 years old, and Liam, 6 years old. Grace was a devoted mother, always preparing meals with care, while Benjamin was a cheerful father who told jokes to the kids. Their diner was not just a business, but a place of cherished family memories. One day, a regular customer named Margaret came to the diner. While chatting, Margaret casually mentioned a rumor she heard from a friend. Someone had seen Benjamin meeting a woman at a coffee shop in a nearby town. Margaret said, "I don't want to cause trouble, but I thought you should know. They said Benjamin seemed very close to her." Grace laughed it off, saying it must be a mistake, but deep down she began to worry. Grace didn't say anything to Benjamin, but she began to watch him more closely. She remembered that Benjamin had been leaving the house often in the afternoons, saying he was meeting suppliers. She started to wonder if he was really meeting suppliers or hiding something. Grace even checked his phone while he slept, but found nothing suspicious. Her suspicion made her tense, and she began snapping at Benjamin for no reason. Benjamin noticed the change in Grace's behavior and asked her what was wrong, but Grace brushed it off, saying she was just tired. Unable to bear the tension, Benjamin confronted her one evening after the diner closed. He said, "Grace, something's bothering you. I can feel it. What's going on?" Grace broke down, told him about Margaret's rumor, and admitted she had been suspecting him for weeks. Benjamin was shocked and explained that the woman was Rachel, an interior designer, helping him plan a diner renovation as a 15th anniversary surprise for Grace. He said, "I didn't tell you because I wanted it to be a surprise. I had no idea it would make you think this way." Grace felt ashamed for doubting her husband and apologized. Benjamin also apologized for not sharing his plans, which had caused Grace to worry. Grace and Benjamin decided to be more open with each other. Benjamin invited Grace to join the diner renovation project, turning it into a family endeavor. On their 15th anniversary, the diner reopened with a fresh look, and Grace couldn't have been happier. The kids felt the warmth return to their family, and they threw a small party at the diner, even inviting Margaret to thank her for unintentionally helping them realize the importance of honesty. Unfounded rumors can shake trust in a family if we don't confront and clarify the truth. Instead of letting suspicion fester, we should openly share our feelings with loved ones. Honesty and communication are the foundation of happiness, And sometimes small misunderstandings can be opportunities for families to grow closer. Sophia and Matthew lived in Los Angeles, California, with their only daughter, Chloe, 10 years old. Matthew was a freelance photographer, and Sophia worked in event planning. They were an artistic family, often attending cultural festivals in the city. Chloe was a creative child, loving to draw and take photos with her dad. Their home was always filled with laughter, and they prided themselves on their close bond. A few days after the Los Angeles Art Festival, which Sophia couldn't attend due to work, she received a text from a colleague named Rachel. Rachel sent a photo from the festival, showing Matthew laughing with a young woman Sophia didn't recognize. Rachel said, "I don't want to worry you, but Matthew seemed very close to this woman. Do you know her?" Sophia felt her heart sink, wondering if Matthew was hiding something from her. Sophia didn't say anything to Matthew, but became distant. She avoided talking to him, and whenever Matthew mentioned the festival, she responded coldly. Matthew noticed the change, but didn't understand why. Chloe also sensed the tension between her parents and became sad, no longer excited about drawing as she used to be. Unable to bear the tense atmosphere, Matthew confronted Sophia one evening after Chloe went to bed. He said, "Sophia, what's wrong? I can feel you pulling away." Sophia broke down, showed him the photo, and asked, "Who is she? Why were you so close to her?" Matthew was surprised and explained that the woman was Lily, a photographer he met at the festival, and they were just discussing photography. Matthew said, "I didn't think it would make you feel this way. I'm sorry for not telling you." Sophia felt ashamed for doubting her husband and apologized. Matthew also apologized for not sharing more about the festival. They decided to spend more time together as a family to rebuild their connection. Sophia, Matthew, and Chloe joined a family art class where they could create and share joy together. Chloe regained her smile, and the family atmosphere became warm again. Sophia thanked Rachel for sending the photo, as it helped her realize the importance of communicating with her husband. They learned that even in a strong relationship, openness and honesty are essential to maintain happiness. Small misunderstandings can hurt a relationship if not addressed in time. Instead of letting suspicion grow, we should openly share our feelings and clarify the truth. A family thrives on trust and understanding, and only open communication can help us overcome challenges.